Pleased to be joined by Denton Mateychuk of the Moose Jaw Warriors. Denton, it's been a busy summer for you and a busy start to the month of September as well, which we'll get to in a matter of moments. But, just give me a sense of what life is like right now in Moose Jaw, what the excitement level is like for the Warriors as you get set for another season here of Warrior hockey.
Yeah, I think all the guys here are really excited. From our young guys to our 20-year-olds, we're all here to compete, and I think we showed that from the start of camp, which is really good to see. And yeah, I think we took some big strides in the camp, and yeah, now going on to preseason. I think our game didn't go too well last night, but I think it's a good starting point, and yeah, I think we're all excited.
I mean, give me a sense. This is a team that's been to the second round of the playoffs in each of the last 2 years. And I've been chatting with Mark O'Leary. The conversation is now about what's the next step for this group, right? And this core that is another year older, another year wiser. When you look at the potential of your team, I mean, that's got to be something that excites those of you who've been around for previous iterations of this Moose Jaw club.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, I think the guys came in here, knowing ready to compete, and like we know what we can do. We know what we have in our team with our young guys and our guys who have been here for 3 years since the bubble, and we've been together since then. And we've been stopped a couple of times in the playoffs, and in this, kind of went out in the same situation. And I think we know that we have better, and that we can be a team that can get past that second round and go all the way. So I think we believe that, and I think that's where you got to start is having that belief that you can do it, and then after that, as the season goes on, putting the pieces together for sure.
You look at the top end talent yourself, Furcus, Yager, yeah, Calvert, the list goes on, right? And even some of the young guys that come in, seems from the outside at least a pretty nice mix of youth and veteran savvy in that Moose Jaw team. But if you were asked to kind of point out any kind of strengths of your group as a whole that you kind of see, what would those be?
Yeah, I think obviously, like I mentioned earlier, so our compete in the camp I thought was great. I think guys are going out there and they're competing for spots on this team, and as a captain of this team, that's that's what really promising thing to see, that everybody came ready and worked really hard. And I think that's where it kind of all starts. And I think that's a big thing for deep as the season gets going later on towards the playoffs. That's what you need, is you have to have that compete and that grit to keep going, because you have some pretty tough weeks in the WHL, and you got to be ready for that for sure.
One of the things we noticed in the office here when putting together and watching the documentary series on the draft with Bedard and Yeager and those '05 born players was just what a motivator Mark O'Leary seems to be like, and just got a chance to go into the dressing room and kind of hear him kind of get you guys ready, get you guys prepared. And I mean, I just want to ask you about what he's like as kind of a motivator, as a coach. It just seems from the outside and from our point of view, I mean, man, it feels like he would just run through a wall for that guy. And I just want to get your thoughts on, just what he brings from a coaching standpoint that helps you guys be at your best each and every night.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he's been a great coach to me and the other guys for since the bubble year there. And yeah, he's not, he's exactly what type of coach you want, and he's gonna expect the best out of you every night and every day at practice, and that's what he expects of you and everybody on our team. And I think that's a really good thing. And yeah, I've really enjoyed him as a coach, and yeah, I definitely would like to run through a wall for him for sure.
Let's talk about you for a sec. You were just in the kind of the DC area for the NHLPA Rookie Showcase, and I saw a few little bits on video on social media. But what was that experience like for you to be part of that group of future NHLers and young guys that have been selected in the draft the last couple of years to go out and kind of take part in an event like that?
Yeah, it was really cool. It's an awesome experience, and to be doing it with guys who you'll be competing, playing against in the next couple of years is really cool. So yeah, it's an awesome experience. I actually lost my gear on the way, so I didn't actually have it for very much of the skating. But yeah, it was still an awesome experience.
Tell me about the Blue Jackets. I know you're headed back there for camp here real quick. I mean, in conversation with them, what are some of the things that they've asked you to kind of focus on in terms of your kind of personal development? And then by extension, you look ahead to a camp with that team. How excited are you to get back down to Columbus and be part of that environment here in the latter part of September?
Yeah, really excited to get back down there. I was there for development camp, and yeah, it was. It's always something that you build towards as the summer goes on, and yeah, I think a couple of things that kind of we agreed that I should be working on is my shot. I think that was something that I took a lot of pride in working on this summer, and also just little stick handling things, holding on to the puck, making sure that all those things are fine tuned. I think those are the two really big things that I try to improve on this off season. Well, yeah, also a lot of other stuff, but those are the two main points.
My last one for you. We like to look at some of the incoming talent in the league, and we got a chance to chat with Connor Schmidt, a few weeks ago, kind of in preparation for the season. Tell me about him as a
Mm.
player, and just one of those guys that you guys can maybe take under your wing as he heads into now a first season in the WHL.
Yeah, I think he looks like a great player, and seen him a little bit out there. It looks really good. He's a really good skater, and I think he thinks the game really well. And yeah, just gonna try and make him, feel comfortable, like, as comfortable as he possibly can. Going into preseason and then into the season, he could be a really big piece for us this year in our D course. So I think it's good to see out of a young guy who's that good of a skater, and seems like he's got a lot of compete in him too, which is a really good thing.